Well, what's going on? This is the Coach Wilson, just bringing you some information to the financial empowerment page. And so, just here in my office, and just had some thoughts, and I just wanted to share with you some thoughts that I had, a conversation that I had earlier today. And here's the title of this conversation. This conversation is choices. Leaders make decisions quickly. So I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that again. Choices. Leaders make decisions fast. But I'm gonna say that one more time. Choices. Leaders make decisions immediately. So here's the thing. So I was having this conversation with one of my brothers, one of my good friends out of the Austin area, and we were talking about choices, and we were talking about leadership. And I said, life sometimes can be like sports, right? This weekend I got a chance to see my Cleveland Cavaliers go ahead and take Indiana out with that 4-game sweep. And so I started to think, after the game, they were interviewing LeBron James, and he talked about the game plan. And ladies and gentlemen, that's just it. In life, you got to have a game plan. But here's the thing. The first thing that you got to have, and before I get to that, let me back up. But the first thing, is that life works better with a game plan. You got to have a game plan, and if you don't have a game plan, then you're going to fall to the plan of somebody else. But that's a whole nother thing. But there's 4 things that you might want to consider when you're putting together this game plan, for the things that you do in life, just like they do in sports. So you gotta know with clarity, and the clearer you can get, the better. But you got to know with clarity, what is my intention? What's my intention in this moment, in this time, in this project? What is my intention? You want to know what is your intention. I'm going to come back to that another time. But you want to know what your intention is for what you're doing. That's going to affect your strategy. That's going to affect your game plan in life. And so here's the other things that you want to understand. You want to understand the game. You want to understand the game. See, in basketball, you can't kick players, and you can't kick the ball. That's not part of the game. And so in football, you can't dribble the football. You just can't do it. You can't dribble the football. You can't give the lineman the ball without checking them in as a running back. You just can't do it. That's not a part of the game. So the thing is, in this game of life, you got to understand the game. And if you're working on something specific, you want to make sure that you understand and know the rules of the game, ladies and gentlemen. The rules of the game. So that's thing number 2, actually. First one is, what is my intent? The second one is, do I understand and know the rules of the game? All right, here's the third one. You need to understand your team. Now, some of you might be thinking, it's just me. Well, you need to understand yourself. To this always be true, know thyself. And so you want to know yourself as well. If you're a team of one, but if you got a team and it's more than one, then you want to understand and know your team, because they're going to be playing the game. You got to understand their capabilities. You got to understand what motivates them. You got to understand what demotivates them. But you got to understand your team so that you can execute. Actually, let me back up. So you can develop your game plan. Now, lastly, you want to know your opponent. In basketball, the opponent might be the other team. But in life, the opponent might be you. Sometimes that's the best thing you can do, is work to make you better every day. Work to make you better every day. And sometimes that opponent, that enemy in me within is the greatest opponent you'll ever face. But sometimes, the opponent might be outside of you. But more likely than not, what you do on the inside of you will drastically either raise or lower your ability to handle what comes at you that is outside of you. And so you got to understand your opponent. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to make sure that you understand your opponent. So let's get to this choices thing. And that's part of it, because all of that is a choice. It's a choice for you to do those things. It's a choice for you to make a game plan. It's a choice for you to find out what your intention is, or to know your intention. It's a choice for you to understand the game. Sometimes, I spent 25 years in the military, and I went through a promotional system, and I got to some ranks. But as I was going through the ranks, I noticed that other people wasn't going through the ranks. And here's the reason why. They didn't understand the rules of the game. They didn't understand what could trigger the promotion. I made sure I knew what triggered the promotion, what would get me a step closer to my goal, to my intention. And that's what you got to do in life. You got to know what's going to trigger your advancement. And you got to do everything you can to take those steps towards that thing. But that's a choice. And everybody don't make that choice. And so the next thing is even those that make the choice, sometimes they don't execute it. But we're going to come back to that. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example about, not making a choice, because that's one of the biggest things. A lot of times you already know what you need to do, but you won't make that choice. Other times you don't know what you should do, so you should use your instinct. But sometimes people get caught using their emotions, and sometimes people freeze. So, ladies and gentlemen, I was just back home. I was in the great state of Ohio, OH10, yes, indeed. And let me tell you something. I was driving down the highway, and I'm not as familiar with my hometown as I used to be. A lot of things change. I don't live there, etc. So I'm going down the highway, and I see a fork in the road. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know if I should go left. I didn't know if I should go right. I damn near wrecked. I pulled in that crack in the medium. I almost hit the meat. I pulled in that crack in the medium because I didn't know what to do. And so what I'm saying, in life, you can get paralyzed and you can get frozen in that place, or you might just run into the medium of life and get stuck. But I made a decision quickly. And sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, we make that decision quickly and it's the wrong decision. But the good thing is that you made a decision. So I made a decision quickly. This particular time it turned out to be the right one. I chose to go left. And that was the way that I needed to go. But even if I had went right, I went somewhere. And I would have quickly saw that I was going the wrong way and absolutely knew for sure that I should be going the other way. Then all I had to do is just turn around quickly. But you can't get stuck in the middle. Don't get stuck in the middle. So here's the thing. I told you that leaders make decisions quickly. And one of the beautiful things is each and every one of us are leaders. And we have the ability to choose. That's one of the things that separates us from the animal kingdom. Animal kingdom can only do what their instincts are. They can only do what their nature is. You and I, as human becomings, we have the ability to choose. And so I want to encourage you to choose. Choose something. But make a choice. You got to choose. That ability to choose is so powerful. That ability to choose. You can choose to do right. You can choose to do wrong. You can choose to stand still. But you can choose. And here's the thing, we all wrestle with different things. I'm wrestling with something right now. Really, I'm not wrestling with it. I'm not wrestling in it because I know what is the right decision. You know, a lot of times we as humans, we make decisions based off of emotions. Based off of emotions instead of reason and actual fact. And instinct. Reason, fact, and instinct. Take the reason, take the facts that you have, and use your instinct to make a decision. I'm not guaranteeing that this is always going to be right, because it might not be, but at least you made a choice. And leaders make choices. That's what separates them. That's what people come to them for, is the choices. The greater the choice, the greater the leader. The bigger the choice, the bigger the leader. The smaller the choice, the smaller the leader. The smaller the decision, the smaller the leader. Big leaders make big choices, big decisions. And so, in order to grow, ladies and gentlemen, you got to stretch yourself. You got to stretch yourself. You got to stretch yourself. And in this contracting of your brain muscle, this contracting of your chest muscle, this contracting of your arm muscle, it can hurt. Depending on what you're contracting it with, depending on what you're stretching it with, it can hurt. But in that stretch, in that pain, in that hurting is the growth. That's where the growth lies. But you got to make choices. And leaders make choices. And they make them quickly. So here's the thing. This is a financial empowerment page. You know what you're doing with your finances. I don't know. I don't need to know. But what I want to encourage you is this. You know, in the Bible, it tells us to be fruitful and multiply. And so I submit to you this question. Are you being fruitful and are you multiplying with what you have? There's also a story about the talents in the Bible. You know, are you burying what you have in a savings account where your money is not employed to work for you? Are you burying it there? Or will you take what you have and multiply it? Will you take what you have and learn to multiply? Because a lot of times that's the thing. You know, it's so very important that you learn to multiply it. You know, but you might not understand where. You might not understand how. I'm going to share something with you that you can use to multiply what you have. And if you're a person like me and you want to help other people multiply what they have, I'm going to show you how to do that too. But here's the thing. I'm going to leave you with 5 points about choices. The first one, you got to know your intent. When you come to the decision, what's the intent? What's the outcome that you're looking for with this decision? Make the decision that brings you closer to where you're going. Understand the game. Understand the rules of life. Understand the game, the project. You know, whatever it is that you're working on, you got to understand it. 2, understand the team players. Know thyself. 3, understand. Oh, I'm sorry, that was 3. 4, understand your opponent. The opponent might be within. And 5, the 5th step is you got to make a decision. You got to make a decision quickly. You got to make a decision immediately. You got to make a decision fast. Click on that link right there. Click on that link right there. International Market Traders. I'm going to show you how to multiply your income. I'm going to show you how to help other people multiply their income. Multiply all of the money that they have. Make a decision fast. Here's the thing. Here's a question. All of the money this came into your bank account over the last 10 years from your job, from your business, from your retirement, from your pension, from whatever. Here's the question. How much has your bank paid you? Now, obviously, I'm talking to you on a video, so don't answer me, but just think to yourself. Think to yourself. For most people, it's little to nothing. And so if you're tired of little to nothing, if you're tired of your money being unemployed, if you're tired of you working but your money's not working, click on that link. Make a decision. Click on the link below. My name is Charles, the Coach Wilson. I just wanted to bring you this message about choices. Leaders make decisions quickly. I'll talk with you later. Peace.